Well, the heads of the Metro Police departments from different metropolitan municipalities in Gauteng are set to appear before the provincial legislature's portfolio committee on community safety. They will be giving an account on their contribution in the fight against crime, as well as their role in enforcing municipal bylaws. Now, the representatives from the private security industry, as well as business against crime, also expected to be part of this sitting. The meeting aims to strengthen the already existing strategic cooperation amongst the various entities in the fight against crime. Well, let's get some more detail, and Nqobile Madlala is covering that story for us. Nqobile, good morning to you. Good to have you on board. Let's talk about this particular meeting. What can we make out of it? I mean, it's a number of entities coming together, and they are, most importantly, appearing before a portfolio committee in the legislature.
Well, definitely, Oli, to account, to also look into what have they done. So you can imagine that already the paper trail needs to say what exactly have they done to ensure that Gauteng is much safer. We do know that there's already more people on the ground with the prevention crime units that just recently has been introduced. And now we want to know that what has been happening. And of course, I'm going to bring in now the chairperson to speak to us about those issues. And I mean, I think every person that is in Gauteng wants to know if they are much safer today. What exactly are you going to be asking everybody that's coming in today?
I think the most important aspect is for them to even tell us the plans that they have, in terms of law enforcement and in terms of crime prevention and fighting crime. Because part of their mandate as the Metro Police is also to actually do that in terms of fighting crime. And it's an important aspect from our side as a committee to do oversight on the overall work that has been done to deal with crime in Gauteng.
And I mean, whilst you're talking about that crime, there's also city bylaws that we're seeing almost every day, buildings being taken over. There's so much that's happening on the ground that people and communities are worried about. Can you get them to account to ensure that such things does not happen in Gauteng?
I think that's one of the most important aspects because, their mandate, in terms of their function in the Constitution, it's also to enforce bylaws, and we have seen that some of the problems that relates to crime relates to them not doing enough in terms of enforcing bylaws, the vandalization of buildings and taking over of buildings, beggars and loiterers around street lights, it's a big problem, and it's something that we want them to actually tell us what they are doing as part of this bigger plan to fight crime in Gauteng.
And I mean, as the portfolio committee, of course, you will hear what they are doing, but are you suggesting what they should be doing?
I think it will be part of the conversation because there are things that we can suggest, even though we are not law experts, or criminal experts, but it's an important way of having a conversation. We are going to bring in on board in the discussion, a private security who also will be giving us their report on what they've been doing across the province. We are going to bring around the business against crime to also show us what they've been doing. So our important plan is to make sure that we have a cooperation, we have got integration, because we won't be able to defeat crime and fight crime if people are going to work in silos.
Right. And I know that prevention crime units also being introduced in Gauteng. How's this going to help?
It is one of those that increase police visibility and also patrolling. And the other important aspect about crime prevention warders is that they are also ward-based. So instead of having people who come into the ward, these are people that stay in the ward and that actually know the people around the ward. So just about police visibility or law enforcement visibility, it plays a great role in deterring crime. And we have seen a slight decrease, from the last quarter stats that have been shown. We have seen a slight decrease, which actually made us a bit happy, but we still think that more should be done.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. That is, of course, Bandile Masuku, just giving us that idea, of course, Oli, as you can hear, it's very important that we know that people in Gauteng are safe. And, of course, they're going to be asking those hard questions to ensure that you and I remain safe.
Madlala, thank you very much. Live for us in the city centre there. I think that's in the city of Johannesburg.